up in Atlanta, and this became that. Places that I knew out in the country where we hunt and fished, they're gone. I can't even recognize them anymore. And so when I came here in 1989, I think I could see the future. And I thought, this is not what Charleston and Somerville and the Low Country are so special in the name of progress, which I thought was going to be great when I was growing up. It turned out to have some real negatives. And so we've got to manage that. And that's what George was so instrumental in. So just to sort of give you an idea of the challenges that we face, the red indicates the amount of impervious surface in 1994, and that's seen as an indicator of growth, of development. That's 1994, and again, this is the Charleston Peninsula here, and then this is what I was talking about again, that green swath. That's Somerville up here. And then if those growth projections continue, that's what it would look like in 2030. That's a little bit more than a decade from now. So that's what would happen if we didn't step up and try to manage change. And you can see that the year 2030 will soon be in 2020. So it's 10 years from now. Same distance from here from 2020 to 2010. So decade, that just seems to fly by pretty quickly. When I came to Drayton Hall, George was deputy director, and really doing a lot of work with business services and shopping and so forth, and was doing a very good job as deputy director. And then I came down to Drayton Hall in 1989. But this is what he was responsible for, about the site of Drayton Hall, which was established in 1738. The house is about 1750. It's a National Historic Landmark. It's the first example of Palladian architecture, complete Palladian architecture in America. It is an icon in architecture of colonial America. It was the first house built in America with a two-story portico that you see there. It was owned by the Draytons until 1974, when it was acquired by the National Trust for Historic Preservation. And when the National Trust acquired the property, they decided to take a radical approach for historic houses at the time, and that is to leave it alone. To not restore it to a particular period as in Mount Vernon, Monticello, to take off additions that had been made in the 19th century and take it back to its mid-18th century appearance. That was a wise decision, pretty controversial at the time, and had they not done this, we would see Drayton Hall as we recognize it today. For example, that pond, known as a reflecting pond, that's the Victorian addition, made after the Civil War in the 1880s, 1890s, in that period, to soften the landscape, that kind of irregular design that you see there, not in keeping with the formal geometric design that was favored in the mid-18th century. So that's an addition. And then there had been slave quarters on the property. There were outbuildings on either side that came down by hurricanes or earthquakes. Those came down in the 19th century. So it was decided not to reconstruct that, not to try to reconstruct the site as it Sturbridge Village or Williamsburg. Those are examples of reconstruction. So it was a radical approach for the time, but it's a real pure approach.